I exactly know the phase that you might be going through where you're sitting alone all day. You don't feel like going out, you don't feel like interacting with anybody. Once maybe you were this person who used to hang out with friends, you had groups and extrovert nature, but now you're just alone in your room with your own thoughts, and maybe you even have some friends, but you think and you deeply know that nobody will understand the situation that you are in right now, and nobody will ever be able to understand or feel the exact thing that you might be feeling right now. It's like you may be having some people you can talk to, but you don't feel like you are the most safest inside your room, inside this bubble world that you have built, and you are the safest. You don't feel like going to public places, and I have gone through this phase. I exactly know how it feels. And sometimes you even feel scared when someone asks you to make plans or someone expects you to show up somewhere, because now you have become this extremely introverted version and you are dealing with this loneliness so hard. There are days you keep on crying and crying, and you don't even understand why you're crying. You have no idea. You are so lonely, even though you have some people in your life, that you don't even have explanation to give it to yourself. And you know what's the weird part about loneliness is it doesn't screams or makes a noise for everyone to hear or understand. It is always silent and heavy, and you pretending to be normal for the world. And the hardest part is when someone asks you and you cannot even explain it to them that how it feels, because the only reply you are going to get is they might say to you, oh, you're just overthinking, just come out sometime, just hang out and you'll be chill. And you know that it won't be chill even after you did that. First of all, stop fighting yourself. Stop fighting that just because you're staying inside your room, just because you don't feel like talking to somebody, just because you don't feel like going out and be this extrovert version of yourself, you're missing out on life. You're becoming this bad person. You're becoming this person who is degrading in life. No, because everybody has their own phases, and in the end, you are a human being, and you do not have to be looking all the time happy, joyful, and having a full life for others to look that, oh, you're living a good life and you're a good person and you're evolving. Everybody has their own faces, so treat yourself with kindness. Stop telling yourself that just because you are becoming this person for a few days and this is a phase and this is you degrading, so you're a bad person, that is something bad or something wrong with you. No, it's not. You are just a human going through this phase of loneliness, and it is very normal. And I also know sometimes you might feel that, okay, you have some people in your life, and when they need you for something, you are always there. You are always available. They can always make plans with you. They can always contact you if there's something wrong. They can always call you for advice. But when you are going through some phase, when you are having some problems, and when you just want to meet them, you just want to talk with them, they don't have time for you. You are not their priority. They have some or the other reasons to be busy in their own lives. When let's say that those are not your friends, those are just parasites feeding off of you. Believe me, better remove them from your life, because they are never going to be of any use. They are just keeping you in their life so that sometimes when they need you, sometimes they want something to do with you, they can make use of you and take advantage of you. Before giving you the solution to all of this, I just want to say one thing, that if you are dealing with any of the situation, if you feel any of the situations in your life to be relatable, I am so sorry for you from my heart. I am so sorry. I feel so sorry, because nobody deserves to go through this phase, because I have personally also went through this phase in my life where I used to be alone, lonely. It has been such a big part of my life, and I know how terrible it feels, and that is why I feel very sorry for you. And please just comment, if any one of you, if anybody, if you are going through this phase, please comment what the problem that you're going through. I will be there for you. I will be helping you with this phase as possible as I can. So please just comment down if you're going through this issue or something like that. Now, if you are dealing with loneliness, I want to ask you one thing. Why are you romanticizing your loneliness more than focusing on the solution? You know what the problem is? That I know you're lonely and I know you're going through this phase, and everybody has such phase in their life. But the problem is that you are not dealing with loneliness, you are romanticizing it. When you feel loneliness and every day looks like this, you do not take steps or efforts to do something to make your life better, to get yourself out of this phase. That is the problem. You think that you're dealing with it, but no. If you all day rot on your bed, binge watch, eat inside your home, you don't go out, you don't talk to anybody, you don't do any socializing, then you are not dealing with it. You are suffering with loneliness. What is dealing is finding a solution. So, I have some situations for you. If you don't feel like socializing with people or talking, at least you can go out alone. Go out on solo dates, sit in a park, in a library, or in a restaurant or a cafe. Take your book or your music or your laptop, and you can do whatever you want alone, but at least step outside. And if you want to do something different, you want to start socializing and making new friends, I have this wonderful idea. You can find some group in your city on social media. There are walking groups, running groups, reading groups, so many activity groups which you can join. And there is no pressure for you to go every single time. It is completely on your choice. If you want to go, you can randomly just join and fill the form and go there and attend. Maybe that one event you go to, that one running or walking group you attend, is going to change your perspective of your life and take you out of this epidemic of loneliness. Another point is, if you don't want to go out, then you can at least have hobbies. If you want to stay inside your home, but you don't want to suffer, then you can have painting, drawing, singing, dancing, working out inside your home in your own comfort zone. But at least it is going to make you feel better. You can start meditating, you can start coloring book, which is the most least effort. And if you want me to explain about hobbies, then I have this separate video completely based on 50 hobbies that you can do in your comfort zone, howsoever you like. So do watch this video of mine. So, and if you don't want to put any efforts, because that's how in bad way you're in depression, loneliness, and you're suffering. If you just are binge watching and rotting on your bed all day, at least you can do it in your favor. You can watch videos which can make you grow financially, emotionally as a person. You can watch my videos also. You can watch several other YouTube videos and you can learn some skills by staying at home through YouTube videos. There is so much of information about everything. You can help yourself grow mentally, emotionally, and physically also by staying in your comfort zone. So please watch YouTube videos, motivational, something that can teach you to become better as a person. Now we'll talk about friendships falling apart and you feeling loneliness because of it. I know that when you leave your school or when you leave your college and when you go outside in a new city or town, many times your friendships fall apart, you leave your old friendships. But let me tell you a bigger aspect of this. Earlier in my life, when I was in school and college, I used to prioritize my friendships so much just because I used to keep certain people in my life as friends just because they have been there since years and years. But I realized that it was just a forced friendship now. I don't feel connected to them the way I used to. I don't feel resonating with them the way I used to. And our conversations and ideas and mindset has completely changed because I have grown as a person in a different way and they have grown as a person in a different way. So sometimes when, let's say, you have some friends since school time, years or years of friendship, but now it is drifting apart and you have no idea because there has been no fights, no arguments, no uncomfort zone, anything like that, but the friendship is still falling apart and you are questioning that why is it happening. Well, is it happening for your own good? Because when you evolve as a person, when you want to become better in life, you have to realize you cannot take everybody along with you. That is not possible. If you want to live a certain type of a lifestyle and then you expect each and every childhood friend or companion of yours to come along with you, that is not possible because they have their own life plans, they have their own priorities, they have their own ideas. And you know the reason your friendships used to be more stable when you were in school and college is because you used to see each other every day. I know it's a hard fact, but you used to see each other every day. So it was kind of not a pure friendship, but it was something that, okay, I'm gonna see this person every day, so why not I be friends with them? But real friendship test happens when you go away from each other, when you start living in different cities, when you start having different hobbies, different careers, then you realize that that friendship was not a real friendship just because you were seeing each other every day. Only the reason you were friends together, and that's not a real friendship. Real friendship, my priorities have changed so much in life because now I do not want to be friends with anybody who is going to degrade my life. I have this certain I had certain friendships in my life who were degrading my life. I was indulging into bad habits, addictions. I was being distracted from my goal, from my vision, from the kind of person I want to become, from the kind of life that I aspire to live in future. And that is why I removed every single one of them. And it was for my own good. And of course, at that time, I dealt with loneliness. I dealt with this phase where I was like, I have no friends. How is it possible? Because since my childhood, I have always had so many friends. But I had to accept this reality that not all of them were resonating with me, the kind of life that I want to live. I cannot be friends with someone just because they have been there for years and years and they were not even now the kind. I have become so private, so exclusive because I have worked so hard on myself to become this person that now I only allow some people to stay in my life who are motivating me, inspiring me to become a best person in my life, who are in some way inspiring me, motivating me to become this version of myself that I dream of. I do not keep weird friendships which has just been there for years. Friendships are not based on that. And that is why if your friendships are falling apart, you have and you are becoming a better person, then that is not a loss. That is just God doing his work in his own way. He is removing all the people, all the things that were just distractions and a phase in your life. But now that you are moving forward into a better phase of your life, becoming this new person, you have to accept you cannot take everybody along with you. Instead, I would say to focus on yourself and find new people who you can actually resonate with. I don't see friendships now as just some emotional connections and bonds that I have in my life. And if you also respect yourself, why would you want to be friends with someone who is degrading your life, who is not inspiring and motivating you to become a better person? Instead, they are forcing you to be a certain version of yourself, which you are not, which most of us do in our life when we are in school and college. And when we see people around us being a certain version and we are not like them, we feel that we don't fit in. And just because we want to try to fit in the crowd, we become this version of ourselves and we include such habits and weird addictions in our life which we never even thought we will do, but we become this version of ourselves which we hate and we never wanted to, but we become that just so we can feel included in that group, just because we can feel included among those people. And why would you want to be friends with some people who are degrading you? I have done so many things in my life which I wasn't even as a person, but I did that during my school and my college phase so that I can feel included among those people. But now, when I spend all that time alone with myself and my thoughts, I realize that I was never this kind of person. I never could have ever done those things, but I don't know what manipulated me, what influenced me to do it. So that is why, if you respect yourself, remove every single person who is trying to degrade your life and actually focus on your life and making your life better and achieving your dream life. And focus on having people who inspire you to do better in life, who motivate you to become the best version of yourself.